What's up, folks? It's Parallax Abstraction, and welcome to Indie Showcase. Yes, it's been a little bit, but I am back at it, and, well, in keeping with my live streams, I decided to change up the background a little bit, ditch the green screen, making use of the library behind me here. So hopefully you guys like it. Let me know down below what you think about that. But I am back with the first of what is going to be 2 shmup indie showcases. Yes, indeed. You guys, any guys who know me know that I love a good shmup, even though I'm not terribly great at them. And this is one I actually got press code for a few months ago. It was in the coverage backlog. It's called Rigid Force Redux. This is actually an updated version of a game called Rigid Force Alpha that's already on Steam, but this version is an updated release for the Xbox One and the Switch. Strangely not the PS4, not sure why about that. And it's published by HeadUp, which is a fantastic German publisher that makes a lot of really interesting stuff. Also developed by a German team called Com8 Com1. Fantastic Commodore reference, guys. I like it. And this is, well, this game is... I don't know if this is actually a real thing, and it probably isn't, to be honest with you, but I call it the Euro shmup. Most people who think of shmups tend to know the ones that come out of Japan. This is developed by a European team, as I said, and I find a lot of shmups that come out of Europe tend to have their own style to them that I actually quite like. And this very much falls into that for me. And yeah, I've really been enjoying my time with it, actually. So I wanted to show this off to you guys, even if it is a little bit late. So this does have a story to it. It's a shmup story. It's whatever, but it is voice acted, which is kind of cool. So you've got a story mode, an arcade score attack mode, which is actually pretty cool, and a boss rush mode. This is single player only. There's no co-op in it, and there's no online. There are leaderboards as well, though. And I've actually gotten through the whole story on the easy difficulty, but once you start it up here, you can pick a mission. You can also change. You increase your starting credits over time, and you can choose between one of multiple different difficulties. I will say this game on easy, pretty easy. You go up from easy, that changes a lot. This game will definitely challenge you if you want it to. So one thing that's nice, even though we're on the Xbox One here, load times are wicked quick.
Here are the mission parameters.
So every mission has a little bit of an intro sequence in that. Like I said, they're nicely done, but I don't know, stories and shmups never really meant much to me. So we're not going to go through the whole thing here, but you can watch that if you like. Now, what I like about this is you're going to look at this and think it looks very similar to a lot of horizontal shmups, potentially like, you know, Gradius or R-Type or something like that. But this does bring some of its own innovations to the table that I quite like here. So, we're going to pick up the power-up there. There are power-ups in this, as you would tend to see, and a lot of waves like that. But what you're going to see here is you may be seeing all these little green dots that are dropping. Yes, indeed. So this is what's kind of cool. These green dots that you pick up, they actually have a name that I'm totally blanking on right now. Sorry about that. You pick them up by pulling on the trigger when they're on screen. And doing this slows you down significantly, so there's a trade-off. But by collecting them, you not only get additional points, it charges up your meter at the bottom. And your meter allows you to do things R-Type style like this, where you can increase your shot strength for a certain period of time. It also allows you to do, well, I couldn't do it there because it wasn't charged enough, but it allows you to do this sort of katana swipe in front of your ship, and it's a way to stop bullets that are coming at you before they can impact your hitbox. So I'll show you here. There. So you saw that right there. I'll be honest with you, I tend not to use that very much, but on the higher difficulties, I'm sure it's definitely required, and to be honest, some of my runs would probably go better if I learned to use it more often. Yeah, probably. Like I said, I love shmups, but strategy-wise, I ain't the most brilliant in the world at them. But you're going to see a lot of these levels do have similar-looking challenges that they had in a lot of older shmups. You can certainly see that they've taken some inspiration from it, but they do it well. In addition to these mechanics that I already explained, you can pick up little options like this. One of the cool things about it is that by using the bumpers, you can change their orientation. So you can either focus them directly in front of you to get a tight but very powerful shot spread. You can do like that, which spreads it out, but the bullets are not quite as concentrated, so maybe not as good for bigger singular targets. And then you can do that to have them shoot behind you, which is a big deal in later levels. You will get attacked from the rear in certain different types of level scenarios like this. So yeah, your goal is to go through the level, take out all the enemies, and then take out a boss. Interestingly, they separate the boss and the main level into different stages, which I found a little bit interesting. I believe that's just for continue points. I think I've never actually... every time I failed out in this game, it actually hasn't been at a boss, funny enough, so I haven't tried that. But I think it's so that... So you'll see here it says stage clear, but then we're immediately going to go into the boss fight. And I think that's just so that you can continue directly from the boss fight if you want.
Enemy signal detected. Signal source.
So the bosses are all different and unique with their own attack patterns and their own weaknesses and other things like that. So, you know, there's a fair amount of enemy variety in this, I'm going to say, that I actually do like a fair bit. So we're playing this on medium. This level's not particularly difficult on medium. I can usually get 3 to 4 stages into this on a medium run before I get myself blowed up. And going through it on easy, like I said, is quite straightforward. I think I beat it on easy on my second run or something like that. Like I said, easy is easy. Easy is very easy, but medium and up is definitely not a pushover. So I took out his first phase there. So now we're going to want to narrow the field like this and hit his core, though with the weapon I was rocking there at the time, that wasn't the best way to do it, but there we go. For those of you who like your achievements on the Xbox as well, I will say that getting a fair amount of the achievements in this game is not that difficult. I've already done that. I don't have them all, and getting all of them will be tricky because some of them are quite challenging. But the majority of them you can get just through normal course of play and beating the game on easy mode for the most part. But yeah, so this is kind of why I call this a Euro shmup, because there are a lot of developers from places like Germany who develop games in this genre. I have found, Shinen is another one that comes to mind. They develop games in this genre where you can certainly tell they were heavily inspired by older Japanese shmups, but at the same time, so there's an example of enemies that come at you from behind. But at the same time, they always seem to like to put their own spin on it. And that's why I call them Euro shmups. They wear their inspirations on their sleeve, but they don't just copy-paste what came before. They always do their own little interesting things. And I think the team at Com8Com1 did something different with this. I really like this... I'm going to call it the green dot mechanic because I'm sorry, I keep forgetting it. But I really like that mechanic. I like being able to alter the position of your options is not something that hasn't been done before, but I like the way they implemented it. I do like the fact that you don't just charge up your beam power over time or anything like that. You actually have to build it up. And in addition, that you can use it for multiple things. That you can use it for this sort of bullet-killing sword swipe. Really, really handy, especially, again, at higher difficulties when you're in a jam like that. And even if you've got a full bar, it's still beneficial to take the risk to pick these things up because it helps maximize your score. Which, if you're going for position on the leaderboards, you absolutely want to do. So, it's a really interesting sort of mix of things that they have there. Behind my head there in the bottom left, you also have your life meter and the power level of your weapons and things like that. Minor indications, so you're not missing much there in terms of the UI for this. But yeah, this game it's reasonably priced, I think, for what it is. You know, like in most shmups, it's designed to be replayed a lot. If you're just going to one and done it, well, then you're probably not going to get that much out of it. But if you're interested in getting a lot of achievements, especially in doing the challenge mode and in maximizing your position on the leaderboards, then yeah, you can get a lot in this. Would co-op have been nice? Sure, everything's better in co-op. But, you know, there's a lot of good shmups out there that are single-player only. And I think this is one that could have benefited from co-op, but it doesn't lose a lot by not having it, in my opinion. You know, playing this single-player, I've had a very good time with it. So, you're getting an idea here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you the challenge mode here. Because honestly, this isn't a game that requires a long video. You know, explaining its core concepts is quite straightforward, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, it is what it is, and you're either going to be really into this kind of thing or you're not, right? But I've been enjoying it quite a bit. So you see, here's the different stages. You see that I've gone through them all, but for the most part, only on easy. But you can get medals by going through them on different difficulty levels here. Actually, maybe it's weird. It says I've gone through all these, but I don't have a high score. Oh, it's because I don't have a high score ranked on medium. That's why, because I have a high score ranked on easy, as you can see there. So there we go. So you just pick this up. I believe you have to complete these missions in story mode to unlock them for challenge mode. That would certainly make sense. But this is what's kind of cool about the challenge mode. It has a multiplier. This is why you saw that my high score on easy was like 5 million, which you would never achieve in story mode. So it has a multiplier. There is a... Wow, I screwed that up, Royal. There is a multiplier, and it can get up into the very, very, very high values, and it's no pushover to get it there and to keep it there, for sure. So you see, and you also get a bonus for killing the waves. You see there's little there's little dudes here to rescue. You don't have to do those. Again, everything in this is nothing in these modes is required other than getting to the end. It's all about just maximizing your score, and all of those things give you the ability to do that. But, you know, in a run, if you want to save a run, then you may not want to do that, right? It's very different than the story mode, and I really like that they put some real effort into this. I think it's pretty cool. What they did with it. You know, I'm an old school score attack guy. You know, I love score attack in video games when it's done well. You know, a scoring system can be done well. It can also be done kind of weak sauce. But these guys, I think, did a really nice job with this one. And you see, like, getting to some of the rescues, not the easiest thing in the world. So this will not be a pushover for sure. But you can get some really there's some really cool variety in here, and it really encourages you going through it quite a bit in order to do the in order to get your best run, right, and maximize your score as much as you can. But that's kind of the core of it. As you can see, yeah, again, there is leaderboards, and they are full of people that I will never, ever, ever get anywhere near. But that's just the way, you know, that's the way leaderboards tend to go, right? I'm all right. I'm 31 on stage 2 here, so yeah. But honestly, I have enjoyed this quite a bit. So this is Rigid Force Redux. It is available on PC as Rigid Force Alpha, but this version for the Xbox One and the Switch is called Rigid Force Redux. It is, like I said, not on PlayStation for, I really don't know why. I think it would do well over there, but maybe we'll see it at some point. But if you like shmups, particularly of the horizontal score attacky variety, and you like ones that bring things a little bit different to the table, I think you will like this one quite a bit, because I certainly have. I'm going to definitely keep playing it after this video. So thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you did like what you saw here, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this or other good shmups on these systems that you might know about. You know, the shmup genre, it's kind of making a little bit of a comeback in the indie space, but it's still pretty niche. So I would love to hear more options about this that I potentially missed. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you think. And as always, yeah, you can catch me multiple times a week over at twitch.tv/pxabstraction doing all kinds of cool variety stuff there as well with indies and other things. So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you on the next episode of Indie Showcase. You guys have yourselves a good one. Take it easy, folks.